At long last, we're ready to go in HEB Park in Edinburgh, Texas. It's Rio Grande Valley FC Toros against FC Tulsa in a crucial Group D match in the USL Championship. Sean St. Jacques, Jose Rodriguez here with you. 3.5-hour rain delay later, we are ready to rumble in the heart of Texas. Two teams that really could use 3 points tonight. They've waited a long time today to get this one in. Rain, lightning, cats and dogs living together, but we're ready to go. We start with our players to watch. Jose, we start with the goalkeeper for RGV, Paul Blanchett. He's made some fantastic saves over the last couple of matches for RGV as well. No question about that. And we look at the other side of things for Tulsa. 2 goals this season for FC Tulsa. They've both been scored by this man, Rodrigo da Costa. It should be a good one. Both teams need it in Group D. USL Championship till the break of dawn between RGV and FC Tulsa. It's coming up next.
Healthcare is being challenged. DHR Health is meeting that challenge. We opened the DHR Health Serious Infectious Disease Unit, a fully equipped, fully staffed facility designed to care for patients with COVID-19. To ensure that we can keep our general patient and staff population safe, this unit is housed in a standalone building. To ensure the safety of all who visit and work at DHR Health, we're screening everyone prior to entering our facilities. We know that together we'll get through this. Now more than ever, DHR Health, for you, for life.
At Bird Ogden and Fiesta dealerships, we continue to make our facilities safer. We are using hospital-grade disinfectants to sanitize customer waiting areas. We are sanitizing every vehicle before and after each use. Safety is our top priority. Together, we will get through this.
Why choose Lone Star National Bank for your business? Because no other bank does more to support local businesses. In fact, we are the #1 lender in the Valley to small businesses. We put money to work here in our community.
That helps our local businesses grow.
Creating more jobs.
And more opportunities for all of us.
Working together.
Together.
We do what the little banks can't and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's bank.
The more we are together with nature, the more we are together, the better we'll be. There's forests and rivers, mountains and valleys. The more we are together, the better we'll be.
Sean St. Jacques, Jose Rodriguez back here with you in Edinburgh, Texas at HEB Park, getting you set for RGV and FC Tulsa. Should be a big one in Group D tonight. 3.5 hours after the original start time. Still some rain coming down here in the heart of Texas, but we're ready to get underway. And we start by looking at the starting lineups, Jose, for both teams, starting with Gerson Echeverry's RGV FC Toros. Let's look at FC Tulsa's starting 11. Michael Ensi inside. Only 2 games under their belt, but both of them are draws. They feel confident coming into this one with a side that definitely could bring a lot to the table. So FC Tulsa's side under Michael Encian has been, again, off to a good start, but haven't played in almost 3 weeks, and they certainly want to get back out there tonight, and they're excited to get underway at this one. Take a look at the keys to the game for both sides. Obviously for RGV, Jose, dictating the tempo is going to be extremely crucial. And for FC Tulsa, the early stages of this game are going to be really important as well. Being aggressive early in the opening stages for FC Tulsa. Again, this is a team that has had 19 days off, and they're hoping to pick up where they left off back early in the middle of July. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens going forward. And we kick things off from HEB Park in Edinburgh, Texas. RGV in their home oranges with the white shorts. FC Tulsa is attacking in their road blacks with the gold trim. Again, Sean St. Jacques, Jose Rodriguez here with you. Thanks for sticking around with us here after almost a 3.5, actually just over a 3.5 hour rain delay. We are back underway. So excited to get this one started. 2 points so far from 5 matches for RGV. Going to get their first win of this 2020 USL Championship season. Tulsa, 2 draws from 2 so far as well. And again, the long layoff and then a long wait to get this one underway. Going to be interesting to see how they come out to start this game. Early attack from RGV is thwarted, and Tulsa's backline controls. Lovely chest down on the near side by Marlon. Scored the winner here against RGV a season ago for Tulsa. And a foul is going to go RGV's way. They're going to play quickly here through Isidro Martinez. Jose, what are you looking for in the early stages? A long time to wait to get this one underway, almost 4 hours, but now the boys are out there. Still raining, still coming down, but they know how important this game is for both sides. It's going to be interesting to see with that long layoff, and again, with Tulsa specifically, 19 days. They're coming into this game thinking, hey, we're going to get right back after it. We're confident. We've had some good results in the first 2 games. And then you got to wait almost 4 hours to get this one underway. But of course, with the season and the current circumstances, trying to get as many games in as possible. So it's going to be really interesting to see how it plays out.
Dan, when you can't, can you turn off that light? Put it somewhere over there.
RGV control on the far side. It was initially with McLaughlin. Pass in behind. It was targeted for Robert Coronado. Initially not there. Kibato, though, here for RGV. Deflected into the penalty area. A bit of miscommunication there between the back line and the goalkeeper, but Sean Lewis instead has a defense deal with that. Handball appeals here, and it's going to go FC Tulsa's way. Elton Garcia is our center referee this evening, or this morning if you're tuning in on ESPN Plus on the East Coast. Michael Encian, head coach of FC Tulsa. Some progress for FC Tulsa last season, but they've really gotten better in the midfield. They've added some new players, including a guy we'll talk about a couple of times, hopefully tonight, really talented player, Eric Bird, who came over from RGV during the offseason. And Tulsa is looking to do some big things this season. Again, unbeaten in their first 2 matches, 2 draws, and looking for their first win. A place that's been tough at times is an ambitious shot here, trying to catch the goalkeeper out, but Lewis is there, and it was more than up to it despite the late hour of the game. He was ready for it. Just looking to play this ball in behind. And Blanchett is there. Blanchett's had a couple of really good games over the last few weeks for RGV. Had one of the Saves of the Week nominees against OKC Energy a couple of games ago. 1-1 draw for RGV. That got them their 2nd point of the season. placed pass. It'll go RGV's way. Manley will throw it back in for the Toros. And really, this has been, these circumstances surrounding tonight's game, it's starting so late here in Texas. It's just been the latest roadblock, if you will, for Gerson Echeverry's RGV. It's been a crazy couple of weeks for the Toros, both on and off the pitch, and a lot of rains coming in over the last couple of days. Coach Echeverry was telling us a couple of days ago his house and a couple of the houses of other staff and players didn't have power over the last couple of days. Some of them had just gotten power back when we spoke to Coach earlier this week, and he told us it's been tough to prep, just trying to get all the film in that we can, and just trying to get training in as well, and things of that nature as well. Just the fact that, Gerson was telling us that, they had 45 minutes of training one day, and then it just started pouring. They couldn't keep going, but it was a good 45 minutes, he said, and just trying to use all the time that they get to try to get ready for these really important games upcoming for the Toros. And of course, FC Tulsa coming in confident, but again, trying to prove it because they haven't played for so long. A couple of 1-1 draws. Again, Rodrigo de Costa scored both goals in both games for FC Tulsa. Switching fields here, Quibado nearly got there, but it was a good challenge there for FC Tulsa to win it back. Marlon playing it forward for FC Tulsa. Could open up here for the boys in black. Couple to aim at in the penalty area, the layoff. Good intricate passing here. Lovely ball out wide. Ball into the penalty area. Manley didn't quite get there for RGV. Moloto keeps it in for Tulsa. Moloto again. Couldn't quite get there. Manley got there first, and it'll be an FC Tulsa throw, I think, on that far side. It's still light rain, maybe a little bit more than light rain coming down here at HEB Park. Luckily, knock on wood, so far the rest of the weather that has kind of forced this game to be pushed back to a late hour has been, kind of subsided, at least for now. Long throw up coming for Tulsa, headed into a dangerous part of the penalty area. Handball appeals, comes out for a strike, and it's well over the top. And a goal kick for RGV. Wasn't a bad effort from distance from Bird, of course, the former Toro. 4 seasons with RGV, said earlier this week to the club website. It's just going to be weird being back at HEB Park after all the minutes, all the appearances he logged here in the Valley. Eric Bird, of course, the all-time appearance leader for the Toros. Said, obviously it's going to be weird, but he's also just excited to be back. He missed the facility a little bit, missed some of the people he used to work with, and missed the field as well to a certain extent. And that's going to be offside against Tulsa. As Ariel Martinez, the captain tonight, was a little too early with his run. Adams controls for the Toros. Quibado. Lovely first touch to McLaughlin. And controlled by Coronado. And Tulsa so far, again, the key to the game was to be aggressive. So far, RGV, for the most part, have had the possession. But again, a couple of runs in behind for FC Tulsa, just trying to give Paul Blanchette in that back line something to think about. And the player is down, at least for a moment here, for RGV. And Michael Encian said earlier this week, the Tulsa coach, that, listen, RGV have not been always getting the results. They've had their backs against the wall, but they're going to be tough. They're going to be ready. They're match fit. They've played more games than us, and they're going to be ready to give us a heck of a test tonight. And most years under Gerson Echeverry, it's been tough for teams to come here and get results. They have made it very tough on their rivals when they come to HEB Park over the years. Adams. Sent forward by Murphy. Lovely ball into the path of McLaughlin. Martinez. Ooh, it was a good idea trying to find Kevin Rodriguez out wide, just too far in front of him. And a throw in for Tulsa. Booted forward. Castellanos is there. McLaughlin trying to kind of keep it down with his right boot. In the end, it kind of wildly went away. Coronado, and RGV can kind of recontrol here. Lovely run there by Martinez, but it was dispossessed and the ball in behind. Not to anybody in particular, way too far out in front of Kembo Kibado, and a goal kick for Tulsa. Still looking for our first big chance, just over the 10.5-minute mark. Give it back to Martinez here, poor pass there. McLaughlin tried to lay it off for Kibado, he comes back to get it. Into the path of Coronado. Challenge was there. Backline for Tulsa's had a few things to think about over the last few minutes. Chance to break here with Costa, and he thinks better of it. Bird. Manley beaten there on the far side. Chance to maybe put this into the penalty area, maybe a chance for a shot, and Blanchette saves. It was a fantastic run by Ariel Martinez to get into the penalty area, basically single-handedly, after Bird set it up for him. Paul Blanchette, as he's done so much lately for the Toros, made a really good save. Ball in behind. Just too far out in front. Manley had it covered. Costa was the target, and it's out for a throw-in. Manley with some MLS experience that he brings to RGV. It's been a nice addition to the Toros so far. Toros have played the most games coming in to tonight in this group, 5. Just the 2 draws. Echeverry was telling us that 1-1 draw against OKC, that one felt like a missed opportunity, despite how well they played for going on about 85 minutes in that game. They really stifled OKC's attack until the 88th minute. And it was Frank Lewis, the substitute, who snatched a point for the Energy. OKC actually had a rough night earlier tonight, lost at home. It kind of opens up part of the group at least. Martinez. Over to Adams. Murphy to Manley. Martinez, nobody made the run for him, it was cut out on that far side by Matthew Sheldon. Back to the goalkeeper, some pressure from RGV there. Coronado almost won that header. And I believe that's going to be a Tulsa throw. At least they're appealing for it. Well, Jerson Echeverry is saying that's us. But instead it is going to go FC Tulsa's way. A foul there. Going to go the other way. Marlon was in the area. Coronado's the one that got the worst of that challenge for RGV. Hopefully he's all right. Another look at it here. Looked to be unintentional from Maloto. So he's trying, I think, to either get to Marlon or move it further up the pitch. But instead he's penalized. Quibado gets things back underway for the Toros. Manley laid it off initially. Here's Martinez. Murphy. Coronado's got an opportunity here to maybe put this into the penalty area. Thinks better of it. Quibado. Ooh, open chance at the back post. Offside is called. Chance to maybe find McLaughlin in the middle. But the header goes to the goalkeeper regardless. And it was a great ball in, but Kevin Rodriguez couldn't quite find a teammate. And regardless, he'd already been penalized for being in an offside position. It's a good turn initially by Costa. Still on it for FC Tulsa. Fights away Martinez. Chance maybe for Sheldon to move forward. Here's Martinez. Picked off here by RGV. Can the Toros counterattack here? Quibado's got a little bit of space to run into if he's getting a better touch. But he finds a teammate. Coronado runs onto it. Quibado. Lovely push and a chase here. Can he put it into the penalty area? No, he fluffs it at the last moment. And it's a goal kick. Really good effort, though, by Quibado. That's better from RGV. They've had some moments. Nothing really yet concrete as far as opportunities for either side as we're in the 17th minute. And if you're just tuning in, first of all, hope you're having a good night or morning, wherever you're tuning in from. 3.5 hour weather delay here in Edinburgh, Texas, but we're ready to get this one wrapped up here. What is really a crucial game for both teams who are on 2 points at the moment. But this one really matters more for RGV as they've played 3 more than Tulsa so far. And really could use a first win of the season. Murphy. And into the penalty area, and again offside is Rodriguez, who is not convinced with the assistant referee's decision on the far side. RGV pushing a little bit further forward here, and it pays off initially. Coronado, Murphy, Isidro Martinez lines it up. It's blocked, and it'll roll out for a throw-in. Martinez for RGV so far has been a bright spot. Jose, it's been an interesting first 18 minutes of the match. So far, though, no big opportunities.
Yeah, I think so far it's RGV with the ball, a little bit more dominating possession. And, you know, that sounds about right because they are the home side tonight. And they need to find an early goal to gain some momentum and, you know, just to manage the rhythm of play tonight. It's not an easy night for RGV or for Tulsa. But, you know, the first goal is going to be key for either team.
Miscommunication there for the Toros, and it's given right back to FC Tulsa. Well, initially, I think the referee was going to give it to Tulsa, and that's why some of the players were upset. They saw his hand start to raise up. Goes RGV's way. Here's Murphy for the Toros. Oh, lovely dummy there by Quibado to find Coronado here. He gets past one. Coronado slots one in. Goalkeeper lost it initially, but Lewis jumps right back on top of it.
Oh, that was beautiful. Beautiful from Coronado. Moving on through the left side, moving up and down early on in the game. And then moving past the defender, but just unable to get a good shot on goal. Here's another look. Good timing. as well able to create some space inside the box. But unfortunately, the shot was right onto Sean Lewis.
First 20 minutes, Jose, it seems like everyone is relatively, again, so far fresh. 3.5-hour wait for this one.
Well,
and so far everyone's looking like feels like it's 8 o'clock Central Time, huh?
Well, there's the excitement. If you're Tulsa, it has been a while. They did not want to wait any longer, so it has been a while for them. But for RGV as well, it's the motivation of getting that first win of the season. And I think that's what we're seeing so far. Although after such a long wait, I guess in the second half, it's when we're going to start to see maybe, a little bit of what mentally this long layoff means. After 3 hours, you start thinking about so many things. You picture yourself into a game that maybe is not becoming a reality. So the second half is going to be very telling for both teams.
Manley for the Toros. Couple to aim at if he wants to put in an early ball here, and McLaughlin was making a good run into the penalty area, but it didn't quite find him.
It's very interesting, very early on, what we have seen from RGV. They have been able to put pressure from the right side with Manley, and as well from the left side with Coronado. They are two defensive players, but, if they are able to move forward as often as they have been able to do so far in the first 21 minutes, it's going to be very interesting what RGV is going to be able to do, understanding that they have the quality on the field, but sometimes it's mentally, that is the challenge for this team, how to stay in the game and stay consistent throughout 90 minutes.
Maloto, and again. He was initially touched into the path of Grande, and then Costa was tripped up. 2-2 so far as goals for Rodrigo de Costa. And of course, he's got to beat the man that we highlighted as RGV's player to watch, Paul Blanchett, who's come up with some big moments and big saves in the early going of RGV's season as well. It's interesting to see how that matchup turns out, if they get to see the whites of each other's eyes a few times tonight. DaCosta's the target here. Adams did really well to leap highest for that, win the ball back for the Toros. The pass sends Castellanos back into a troublesome area, but he finds Quibado. And Quibado does really well. DaCosta fouls him right near the touchline.
Yeah, very impressive start from Quibado as well. He's one of the young players for this RGB team, and the adjustments early on, especially playing in the middle of the field. Nowadays, you not only have the responsibility to recover the ball as quickly as possible, but to help a lot in the build-up, and that's exactly what Quibado has been doing so far in the first 23 minutes of the match.
Adams. Coronado has been bright so far for the Toros. Lovely switch of play by Murphy to find Manley on the far side. McLaughlin's waiting in the penalty area for it. They try to find him. Quibado was in there as well. Marlon was there defensively that time for Tulsa. And Castellanos will reset. Toros kind of getting the chance with possession to kind of pick and probe at Tulsa's back line at the moment.
Yeah, I must say, it is a very impressive start from RGV. It's very easy to lose concentration, but they haven't done that at all.
Oh, what a ball that is to find Martinez. Martinez cuts back, lovely shuffle onto his left boot. The shot is blocked, and it is out for a corner. A couple of really good passages of play from Martinez on that far side.
The nickname that we'll know from the Cuban national team, as we see the play on the left side, Ariel Martinez is very well known as the Cuban Messi. How do you like that?
Oh, wow.
Yes. He doesn't like the nickname, I must say. But since he's not listening to me right now,
Don't
I
worry.
can say it.
Your secret's safe with me.
Yeah.
Seems like every country's got their own Messi nowadays. Chance for Tulsa from the set piece. Free header initially in the penalty area. Blanchett, though, leaped the highest to punch it away, only as far as Martinez. Bird floats it into the penalty area, headed down, and that was McLaughlin back defensively for RGV. The striker helps defensively. That ball back in from Maloto was blocked. Garcia tried to shepherd it out for a corner. I think Manley did touch it last, so another chance for Michael 11 to get one possibly on target here.
Well, and of course, this is a big part of the game, set pieces, especially for Tulsa when you're playing on the road. You don't have possession. This gives you the opportunity to bring 4 or 5 players inside the box.
Maloto takes. Blanchett has to come out again. He committed, and the ball is in. Marlone, for the second year running, scores at HEB Park. And FC Tulsa lead inside 26 minutes.
A very unfortunate mistake from Blanchett. A good ball to start. Then a poor clearance and the opportunity for Marlon with a left-footed shot to score the first goal of the match. It's very unfortunate for RGV. They had a very good start to the game, and then one mistake, and Tulsa is able to capitalize for Marlon Santos, his first goal of the season.
Well, Jose, you were talking about it. Who was going to score first could really dictate how the rest of this game goes, and Tulsa have found the opening goal, maybe a bit unlucky from RGV's perspective, although Blanchett committed and didn't quite get there. That's normally rule number 1 as a goalkeeper on a corner kick situation. If you leave your line, you got to get there, and Blanchett didn't convincingly clear it, ended up paying the price.
Yeah, you have to be very aggressive if you are Blanchett going for that ball. You know, you have to run even through your own teammates if you have to, because if you don't, this is exactly what happens. You're leaving the ball up for grabs, and unfortunately this time for RGV was Marlon Santos near the ball, and nobody else was able to clear the ball away. So very unfortunate, like we mentioned, because it has been a good game so far for RGB, but you know, one mistake and things can change drastically.
Got to give a shout out to the staff at HEB Park getting this field ready. Again, Coach Echeverry was telling us a couple of days ago, this field was flooded about 72 hours ago, and because of all the weather and tropical storm in the area and things like that, and the foul goes against Tulsa on that occasion. I think that's going to be a booking for FC Tulsa as well. The former Toro Eric Bird sees yellow here, it looks like.
Yeah, that's the first yellow of the match.
Another look at it here, Jose.
Yeah, it's Bird fighting for the ball at that point, and yeah, I think that's a very good call. It's a clear foul from Eric Bird. So Lucatero was looking for the ball.
The challenge was almost as late as our start time tonight, Jose. Goodness. Again, Eric Bird, 72 appearances, all-time Toros appearance record for the club. Coach Michael Encian calls him his engine. He does the dirty work. And mentioned that he completed 94% of his passes last time out for Tulsa as well. That's about as good as you can get from a midfield player, especially at this level. As it looks like Coronado was fouled on this near side. Definitely an addition that improves Tulsa's midfield from last year drastically.
Yeah, well, you know, I think they have added a couple of pieces there that can really make a difference, especially in a game like this one in which, you know, you're facing some adversity early on with a late start. But, you know, you have players with plenty of experience that have been through this before in their career. And I think that's what, you know, it's making a difference so far in the first half an hour of the match for Tulsa.
Isidro Martinez is over this for the Toros. Floats it into the penalty area and over the top. And out for a goal kick. going to be interesting, Jose, with RGV again, with the starting lineup they have. All three of their goal scorers this season are on the bench tonight. Taberson, Deshane Beckford, who scored a fantastic goal against OKC, and also Perpa, all waiting in the wings just in case. We head to our first half hydration break here in Edinburgh, Texas. It was RGV who were off to the early strong start, Jose, but it was Tulsa who got the opening goal from this corner kick, and Marlon, yet again, he loves HEB Park, doesn't he? He finds the back of the net yet again.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a good ball coming in, but it was McLaughlin who was unable to clear the ball away as well. You know, you have to blame this on the goalkeeper, no doubt, because that's a ball that Blanchette needs to be a little bit more aggressive. But as well, McLaughlin had the ball right in front of him and wasn't able to clear that away. So, and if you're Marlon, then you take advantage of a mistake. You know, that's what you're supposed to do. And so far, it's working for Tulsa. Now, I think, Sean, we still have a long way to go. Things can change, especially after, you know, such a rough start, waiting 3 hours in the locker room. Things can change within the game, and you're going to have to look through key moments throughout the match to define every 15, 20 minutes. And so far for RGV, he's going to have to come to a good end of the first half. How much momentum can they gain in the last 15 minutes of the first half?
Well, if you're just joining us, good morning. Hope you're enjoying the early stages of your Sunday. It's been a good half an hour so far, I have to say. It was RGV who kind of opened it up, being the more aggressive of the two sides, and then that miscue on the corner, not able to clear it off the line for RGV, and Marlon yet again at HEB Park finds the back of the net. Give FC Tulsa the lead in this pretty important Group D tilt. Both teams on 2 points, but RGV have played 3 more matches to this point in the season. A win for really either side puts them in really good shape in the table, especially considering that OKC lost tonight, which means a win for Tulsa would actually put them level on points with OKC. But again, a long way to go before we get to that.
Yeah, but it is very interesting because 3 points for either, if RGV is able to get 3 points, they're able to get up to 5, and they can fight for the second spot. Same scenario for Tulsa. Now, the difference is that Tulsa, this would be their 3rd game of the season, and for RGV, this would be the 6th game. But still, you're still fighting for the second spot, which is, remember, fighting for 1st and 2nd place in the group. That takes you to the playoffs in USL Championship this year.
It was OKC Energy 0, New Mexico United 3. Technically yesterday now, but technically the same match day, if you will. The other big result in this group was Austin Bold 2, San Antonio 4. So San Antonio is actually into double figures now, up to 10 points at the top of the table. Austin now have 3 points from 3 games in this group. So really for both teams now, especially considering that result, it's even more important, especially for RGV.
Yeah, I mean, what we're trying to say is that this is a big game for both teams. You know, it's still early on in the group stage, but fighting for 1st and 2nd place needs to be a constant during the regular season for every team in USL Championship this year. That's how group stage works. You can never give up in a game. You still have to fight for the points, especially knowing that you have some good results from other teams.
Fantastic ball after it was won back by Costa. This is Dario Suarez. Thinks better of it. Here is Martinez. And FC Tulsa content to restart play through their back line. Grande initially, Marlon, Maloto, Grande in behind, Costa. Not much to aim at least initially. Good ball in by Kwambe, and the shot is well over the top from Maloto, but really good build-up play, at least until the shot came in from FC Tulsa.
Yeah, that's much better from Tulsa. They were able to move the ball around a little bit, create some space, and it all ends up with a shot from Moloto. Now, it's very interesting how they're moving the ball from the right side, not so much from the left, where Ariel Martinez is playing a little bit more on the 1v1 side of things. So it's going to be interesting how they are going to mix things up. So far, holding on to the ball looks to be the right thing to do for Tulsa in the end of this first half.
Now looking for McLaughlin. And well defended in the end on this near side. It was Bradley Bourgeois defensively. It's one of the things that Jason Echeverry told us earlier in the week, squad rotation, and especially now when even RGV, in certain respects, they're trying to make sure they get their fitness back and playing shape. They've had more games, obviously, than FC Tulsa, but still trying to keep everybody healthy, not just during the current circumstances with the pandemic, but obviously from a training and physicality perspective as well. And on top of that, again, all the nooks and crannies, hoops and hurdles that this RGV team has dealt with since really the beginning of the restart. Jason Echeverry just told us, again, he was listing everything to us that they've had to go through. The thousands of miles of travel, the changing of games and things like that. He just said, I'm so proud of my guys. I'm so happy the way they've handled it, controlling what we can control, doing what we can do to improve the team and get better and look for results that are going to be so crucial potentially for this RGV team that came on so late at the end of last season. They were so strong at the end, just didn't have enough time to make up the points to get into the playoffs. And again, we've seen it, Jose, firsthand. They've shown some good signs at the beginning of this season. It's just about getting the results and being more consistent. As Murphy stuck a foot in there and got a throw in for his side.
Yeah, and for some of these guys in RGV, it's probably their first season as a professional. And, this is something that is going to help you down the road, no doubt about it. These are adversities that you have to go through in your career, and hopefully this is something they can build upon in the next few years, and maybe within the season in 2020.
Lucatero, who was probing. Now here's Adams. Castellanos. Ooh, Bird has to be careful there. It was another borderline challenge. Fair challenge, though, says the referee. Manley dispossessed, but wins it back. The pass is just too far out in front. I think Manley, and then also McLaughlin, who had initially tried to go for it. Here's Murphy. Manley's still up there for RGV. Deflected pass into the penalty area, over the top, and out for an RGV corner on the far side.
So far, it looks like Tulsa is very comfortable with RGV dominating possession and then creating opportunities out of the counterattack, which is an interesting idea because we all know the quality that Tulsa has on the field right now, but according to Michael and Cian, the counterattack is something they can, take advantage of facing RGV.
Ball in. Manley got ahead to it. It was cleared out initially by Quambe. Regained by the Toros. Edwards. Martinez on his left peg. Trying to find Castellanos. Might fall here for a chance for Lucatero. And Lewis gobbles it up.
Good effort from Lucatero. It's very interesting because it looks just like the like the goal from Tulsa. A ball up in the air. Nobody's able to clear the ball away. But what a difference makes when you make those mistakes inside the box. It was so easy for Marlon to put the ball in. Not so much for Lucatero.
Bird. To the back line, Kevin Garcia initially. Now a chance for Matthew Sheldon to run into some space for FC Tulsa. Costa over to Martinez, who is double teamed. Martinez again. Shoves off one. Good turn by Costa. Couple to aim at, potentially in the penalty area. Costa deflected. Maybe a chance here for Marlon again, but he skies it over the top. It nearly fell for Suarez. Marlon almost doubled his money.
Yeah, it is a good ball coming in from Costa. And it's Coronado unable to clear the ball away. This time Marlon takes the shot, but he gets over the bar.
Here comes Tulsa again. Costa, we had Martinez initially, thought better of it. Maloto. Martinez has been so strong on the ball so far, weaves his way through a couple of Toros. He still goes, and it sets up another goal from Costa, but he is offside. Almost a magical moment from FC Tulsa, but RGV are let off the hook.
Yeah, Anderson is not very happy with that because Ariel Martinez, look at him. He's surrounded by RGV defenders, but he's able to move past 5 RGV players. You know, that's a big mistake for RGV. You cannot allow a player to move around 5 of your own teammates. Someone needs to react to the ball, put some pressure on the Cuban Messi. You cannot do that when you have the Cuban Messi on the field.
Had a little bit of that flair in it, didn't it? Almost magical moment there.
Yeah.
From FC Tulsa.
There was a big lightning and
We're being told that there was actually more lightning in the area. It was prevalent earlier on in the delay, and our center referee, Hilton Garcia, has spotted it. And at the moment, the match looks like we will have it stopped at least for the time being, hoping that the weather holds off, trying to get this one in. Again, there was a 3.5-hour weather delay before the start of this game, and with Tulsa leading by a goal to nil. At the moment, the weather continues to be a factor. So a weather delay here in Edinburgh, Texas. FC Tulsa leads by a goal to nil. We'll take a quick break. More on the other side from Texas. Sean St. Jacques, Jose Rodriguez back here with you as we get ready to finish the end of the first half between RGV and FC Tulsa. A good morning to everybody that has stayed with us. Thank you so much for doing so. Another weather delay behind us, and here's how it's going to work for the rest of this first half. We're going to play it out till the 45 minutes are up. We'll take a quick break after that. When we come right back, the second half will be right back underway. Try to finish this one up. Again, a Group D clash between RGV and FC Tulsa. Both teams on 2 points coming into this game. RGV 3 more games played than FC Tulsa. Marlon scored the opening goal for Tulsa all the way back a couple hours ago now in about the 26th minute. And since then, it has been a wild, wild night. But, Jose, we're hoping to finish this one off. It's been good so far.
Yeah, I mean, we're still here, so we might as well enjoy it. It was a good start for RGV. Unfortunately, one mistake was enough for Marlon to score and put Tulsa ahead in the game. But it was a good start for RGV. We'll see now. Things change a lot in an hour or so when you're actually playing the game. Even more when you're taking a break that you're not exactly used to.
Second long break that these two have taken. We had a 3.5-hour weather delay at the very start of the game. There was lightning, there was a lot of downpour here at HEB Park in Edinburgh, Texas, and then right towards the end of the first half, we had another weather delay, and now we're hoping that the weather holds off and these two can finally get in their game. They've been working so hard to finish off tonight. Castellanos flicks it backwards. This could be a chance here for FC Tulsa. Marlon is in the middle. A step over, a curl into the penalty area to Costa, just out of his reach. But Marlon keeps it in. Trying to find a teammate. It deflects into the path here. Chance in the penalty area, and it was cut out right on the 6-yard line. It was a great run by Grande. Couldn't quite find a teammate. Jose, feels like a couple hours ago now, because it was, but you talked about the keys to the game for RGV and for Tulsa. For Tulsa was to be aggressive. We're starting to see that a little bit more towards the end of the first break, if you will, and then out of the gates here. And for RGV, well, certainly one thing that Jerson Echeverry told us was, not only before this game, but before the OKC Energy game we did as well, possession has got to be really important for his team, and it's just been too inconsistent. And again, coming off a break, it's so tough to get back into a rhythm as Adam shields it for Blanchette. But that's something that if RGV want to get back into this game, they've got to improve on, is making good decisions with possession.
Yeah, that's the challenge for this RGV team. And, we have seen a couple of changes in the lineup throughout the first 5 games. You see a good ball here from Manley. But, it's the consistency that is not there for this team so far in the start of the season. And like we mentioned early on, this is a big game for both teams. Both teams need 3 points tonight. Tulsa getting back into the games after a long break. And for RGV, a really tough start after 5 matches, no wins at all. This is a big game. Unfortunately, the conditions have changed a lot in the past few hours with the rain and the weather delays. But, you have to adjust. There are still 3 points on the line for both teams.
Into now 25 seconds of 2 added minutes at the end of this first half. And then again, we're going to hop right back into the second half after a quick break at the half. So don't go anywhere. We're going to be rolling right into the second half. After the first half ends, we'll take a break and then we'll be right back. So don't go anywhere when you hear that halftime whistle go. And if you're up right now, God bless you. Hope you're having a good morning. Here comes FC Tulsa. And again, really been strong on the ball, Ariel Martinez so far. He fights off another challenge, although that pass leaves a lot to be desired. And Kyle Adams initially picked it up, but he gives it right back to the roadside. Here's Costa. Grande. Marlon. Maloto. Over to Martinez, looking for Marlon. And Castellanos was there defensively for the Toros. He's had a pretty solid game so far defensively for RGV. Again, the goal Marlone's score was actually off a mistake by combination of McLaughlin back defending and Blanchette didn't clear the corner back in the 26th minute, and it fell for Marlone, and he was in the right place at the right time to give FC Tulsa the lead. Manley now for the Toros. Searching ball into the penalty area, falls for Murphy. First touch pass nearly found Lucatero, nearly fell for Murphy, but Costa comes away with it. Coming down on the final few seconds of added time. Is there time for maybe Tulsa to create a chance? It's out of the reach of Martinez. Castellanos will control.
Yeah, a little bit too aggressive. Costa looking to pushing the ball through a little bit, pushing it right there. When you look for Ariel Martinez, you want to give him the ball, as close as you can. You want to find at least in the last 2 minutes of the first half, you want to secure the ball as much as you can, dominate possession, understanding that, this game can change in the blink of an eye. We have seen so many things happen tonight. You want to hold on to the ball as much as possible and stay away from those mistakes.
That brings us to the end of the first half here at HEB Park in Edinburgh, Texas. RGV 0, FC Tulsa 1. We'll take a quick break. The second half is on the other side here in Texas.
Sir, you got Bud Light?
Back there.
Bud Light made a seltzer?
Wait, Bud Light made a seltzer?
I wonder what it tastes like.
Only one way to find out.
What are the taste buds saying?
Tastes great. No Bud Light, just hard seltzer with a hint of fruit flavor.
Light and refreshing. It says light and refreshing.
Let's get that instead.
Wait. Post Malone doesn't drink seltzer. We drink Bud Light. Everybody knows that.
Why not try something new?
Bud Light.
Seltzer.
Bud Light.
Seltzer.
Bud Light.
Well, season 1 was much better than season 2.
Guys, we're incredibly rich. Let's get both.
I'll get both. You got any pretzels?
Bud Light Seltzer. Unquestionably good.
Why choose Lone Star National Bank for your business? Because no other bank does more to support local businesses. In fact, we are the #1 lender in the Valley to small businesses. We put money to work here in our community.
That helps our local businesses grow.
Creating more jobs.
And more opportunities for all of us.
Working together.
Together.
We do what the little banks can't and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's bank.
Healthcare is being challenged. DHR Health is meeting that challenge. We opened the DHR Health Serious Infectious Disease Unit, a fully equipped, fully staffed facility designed to care for patients with COVID-19. To ensure that we can keep our general patient and staff population safe, this unit is housed in a standalone building. To ensure the safety of all who visit and work at DHR Health, we're screening everyone prior to entering our facilities. We know that together we'll get through this. Now more than ever, DHR Health, for you, for life.
Second half about to get underway between RGV and FC Tulsa. Sean St. Jacques, Jose Rodriguez, good morning to you. Thanks for sticking with us through a couple of weather delays as we play deep into the night, now into the morning here in Edinburgh, Texas. RGV 0, FC Tulsa 1, as the second half is about to get underway. As you can see there, Luke Perpa is on for the Toros, one of their 3 goal scorers this season, looking to make a difference off the bench, a guy that can certainly make an impact for a team that's currently down a goal and needs to get back into this game, Jose.
Yeah, he's one of the new faces this year for RGV. Very aggressive, very good with the ball, and especially a combination that we have seen prior to this match with Rodriguez and Martinez. He has been a very good player for RGV early in the season.
Martinez, that might have been out of bounds, and it was. It rolled out of play. Ariel Martinez has been a really bright spot for FC Tulsa tonight, Jose. He's been all up and down the left side in both halves.
Yeah, he's a quality player. I mean, I think the first time we saw Ariel Martinez, I don't know if you remember, but it was all the way back to the Gold Cup a few years ago. Very good player, very good with the ball. And, I remember the Cuban national team and everything that we talked about during that Gold Cup was Ariel Martinez. So a good showing. And after that, he had the opportunity to come to the United States, play for Miami FC as well.
Chance here for RGV, but the former Toro, Bird, is there to cut out the pass into the penalty area. To Costa under pressure, Kibato and Isidro Martinez trying to win it back. Nearly fell for Perpa, and it's cleared by Tulsa. Tolo dispossessed unfairly, says the referee. And it's a Tulsa free kick. Lucatero thought it was a clean tackle. Not to be, as our center referee, Elton Garcia, was on the case. Sheldon initially. Martinez ran over the top of it. Dispossessed. Lucatero back defending and wins his side a free kick. Mentioned that the 3 goal scorers for RGV tonight started the night on the bench. This is also an RGV team that had quite the turnover as far as the goal category goes from last season. Mentioned not just Eric Bird going to FC Tulsa, Michael Salazar going to the MLS, 10 goals last season from him. Carlos Small going to the Panamanian League as well. He had 12 goals for RGV last year. That's 12 right off the top for the Toros. As Manley tries to find McLaughlin, came down for an opportunity for Perpa, but he sends it soaring over the top. And Jose, not just them, by the way. Wilmer Cabrera going to Butler to play college soccer. Jesus Enriquez to San Antonio as well. So despite all of that, and despite all the obstacles they've gone through at the start of this season, RGV still find themselves a result or two away from being right back in the chase for the second spot in Group D.
Yeah, well, I think definitely that was the idea coming into the match. Get 3 points tonight, try to turn things around, because it hasn't been a good season in terms of results, but they have been playing well lately. The unfortunate part is that every time they have committed a mistake defensively, the opponent has been able to capitalize, and that's something that Gerson Echeverry mentioned before to us. It's more about taking advantage of those opportunities on goal that we have, and with players like McLaughlin and Perpa, those are the players that need to step up. It's early for them in their career, but they have to step up and be that presence up top for RGV.
And we had a 3.5-hour weather delay right at the start of the game. Didn't get to kick off on time. We got the first 41.5 minutes in, roughly. Had another weather delay, and now we're into the second half. Marlon has the only goal for FC Tulsa. This was actually the scoreline when the two teams met here last season. Marlon was the only goal scorer then as well. Tulsa looking to maybe try to grab a second here. Matolo tried to find Ariel Martinez, but RGV was there defensively, and then Murphy was fouled. Trying to retreat and get that to his back line. Coach Echeverry told us about James Murphy, said a lot of potential. He's seen a lot of good things from him, not only on the field, but in training specifically. And of course, Gerson actually played with James's father at Seton Hall University in South Orange, New Jersey. And of course, Gerson was the head coach of the Pirates before taking the job here with the Toros. Perpa couldn't quite corral it. Tolo, it's a lovely back heel there by Suarez, but nobody in the area to benefit from that nice piece of skill.
Yeah, a couple of bad giveaways from RGV in the middle of the field. Just Tulsa one pass away probably from being able to capitalize. Well, that's not what Gerson Echeverry wants to see, especially after having the opportunity to talk to his team about all the things that they were doing right to start the match. You had to keep on going the same way, but it looks like, the problem of the possession that we talked about before, it's coming back for this RGV side that is not able to control the ball as much as they would have wanted to since the restart.
Lewis gets it back into play. Haven't seen a ton yet from Dario Suarez up front for FC Tulsa. And really, besides the Marlon goal, haven't seen too many clear-cut chances for either side. Obviously, you can cut both teams a little bit of slack just because it's been start, stop throughout the night, just because of the weather and the circumstances in the area. Castellanos finds Blanchett. And a restart through Kyle Edwards. Burpa. And again. Here's Castellanos. Coach Echeverry lauded Castellanos' leadership. And we talked to him earlier this week and just said, I mean, that's him personified. He is one of the leaders on this team. And, you know, one of the things, you know, again, Jason Echeverry was, you know, remarkably calm about his situation with everything that's been going on. And then you can throw this on top of that tonight. But one of the things that you could kind of tell talking to him that put a smile on his face was how well Castellanos has been for his back line this season and how important his leadership has been navigating through all these challenges. And again, if you're just joining us, it hasn't just been the crazy start-stop night that this has been, but of course, the situation with the weather in the area the last couple of days has been flooding around the Edinburgh, Texas area, including on the pitch. And also power outages in many of the players' staffs, including Jason Echeverry's house a couple of days ago. They were able to get power back and then, luckily, get some tape down so they can prepare for this Tulsa game. So having leaders like Castellanos to call upon can really keep the team on task despite all of the distractions and all of the circumstances and, of course, the pandemic on top of all that. As that ball is going to be into the path. Chance for Tulsa. Suarez is waiting for it in the penalty area. And Adams shields and shepherds it out for a goal kick with the help of Coronado on the far side, as Costa didn't really have anywhere to go with that for Tulsa, did he?
Yeah, and going back to Castellanos, you know, what's interesting about him is that, you know, he knows the system pretty well. He has been working with Yerson for the third season already. He's only 21 years old, but now is the time for him to shine in the league. Now is the time. He knows exactly the challenges that the league presents. So, you know, understanding your coach, understanding your teammates, and exactly at the third season as a professional, that's exactly when you need to take the next step. And I think that's what we're watching from Castellanos, which, you know, it's pretty exciting, especially when you look into teams like RGV that have, throughout the years, they have been trying to find those defenders that they can rely on, at least for, you know, a consistent part of the season. So if you think about what RGV is doing defensively right now, they are doing just fine. Now the problem for them is how to score. There is where, you know, the challenge has become a little bit tough for Gerson Echeverry and his team.
And they have created some chances tonight, Jose. We just saw the one earlier with Ariel Martinez trying to work his way into the penalty area and didn't really have anybody to go to, not many orange shirts to aim at, and ended up just kind of giving it back to FC Tulsa. So that play in the final third, and yeah, like you said, Jose, Gerson Echeverry's mentioned that to us a couple of times this season. That's still not quite where he wants it. Not a bad idea, trying to find Quibado on the far side. His pressure, though, wins a throw-in for his side. Here's the aforementioned Castellanos. Lucatero. And McLaughlin couldn't quite get to it. Edwards needed to win that. It could fall here for Suarez. couple of black shirts trying to support. And Edwards concedes the free kick. It was one-on-one. Actually had some help behind him.
Yeah, it was
Ends
more
up
like
giving a good chance to FC Tulsa here.
1-on-3,
Yeah,
Sean.
yeah, well, you're right, Jose. No question about it.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's not a good foul if you're Adams.
And I didn't even see Isidro Martinez backtracking as well there, so you're absolutely right, Jose. He had plenty of cover. And in the end concedes a dangerous set-piece opportunity here for Costa or Maloto to potentially service in here for FC Tulsa. Again, FC Tulsa haven't played in 19 days coming into today. I don't think they realized this game was going to go over 2 days, but they've been waiting to get back after it. It's shown for most of this game so far. Headed out by RGV's defense, and Martinez regains for FC Tulsa. It's been a wild August 1st into August 2nd in the USL Championship. Mentioned it in the earlier parts of the first half. The crazy results just in this group alone tonight. Austin Bold 2, San Antonio 4, putting San Antonio's spot atop this group in a more firmer position. And maybe the shock scoreline so far this group, Jose, OKC Energy 0, New Mexico United 3. So the Energy are kind of sitting there right now hoping that one of these two teams doesn't come level with them on points tonight, or this morning, I should say.
Yeah, well, you know, if this result holds, Tulsa is going to end up with 5 points and a plus one goal differential. So that would be enough to tie OKC Energy. Now, remember that the first tiebreaker in USL Championship is the number of wins. So what I'm trying to say is that the competition is there within the group, regardless of the results from other teams. Right now, both of these teams are fighting basically for the second spot in the group. And first place is, of course, San Antonio with 7 points. But, you know, if you are within 2 points of the first place, then you're actually 1 game away from claiming the first spot. And if you think about what the group stage means this year, it brings a whole new element to the league. And that's, I guess, the most interesting part of 2020 and all the challenges that the year has brought to the league. You know, having the group stage and just having the excitement of every game really matters. Every game can make a difference on how you can look moving past your game tonight. How do you move past out of every week? It's exactly the group stage, the element that brings all that excitement to the league.
Almost kind of floated into no man's land there, and Kyle Edwards easily cleans that up. Isidro Martinez under some pressure, but handles it well until that point where he passes it right back to Eric Bird. Suarez now going further into the penalty area. For Maloto here, a touch pass, maybe back towards Maloto, and that little intricate pass from Suarez was cut out at the vital moment there by RGV's defense. Remember, our FC Tulsa almost broke down RGV with a fantastic, well, they did. They broke down RGV with a fantastic piece of work by Martinez, only to have the goal chalked out for offside towards the end of the first half. Could have easily been 2-0 for Tulsa. Maloto was just out in front. And frustration for Tulsa that's given back. Michael Encian looks on. Tulsa head coach. Wanted to mention, Jose, a wild day in Group E as well, with Indy 11 falling at home for the first time in what seems like forever to Sporting KC2, who's now won 2 in a row and are third place in the group, along with Louis City, both on 6 points. St. Louis also lost tonight as well, I should say last night technically, as we're into the early hours of the morning. So they stay on 9 points after Memphis won by a 0-0. And that group becomes a lot more interesting after it looked like Sporting KC2 might have been out of it. they have a real shot with a lot of games left to play, maybe stunning a lot of people with a young team, maybe giving themselves a chance to get a chance at the playoffs. Meanwhile, mistake here. McLaughlin is in, and a big block. Big opportunity for RGV, and they still have a corner from this chance that it was given away with Perpa putting on the pressure.
Yeah, it's Perpa recovering the ball and looking right away for McLaughlin, who inside the box tried to take the shot. But, you know, good defensive effort as well from Tulsa. As we're going to take a look at another substitution or the first one rather, for Tulsa. It's Dario Suarez coming off, and Uzo. Tovena Uzo, Nigerian. You know, it's really tough. It's really tough. You know, there's only so much that you can ask from the players at this point.
The second change there, former Toro Eric Bird bows out. It's Rafael Ayagua who will come on for FC Tulsa. So 2 changes there for the road side to try to freshen things up. And the homecoming ends for Eric Bird. 4 years at RGV, 72 appearances, the club's all-time appearance leader. Well, so there you go, Zaguro on as well. Getting back in position here for this corner. Isidro Martinez lines it up. Not a bad ball in. Header is down and off the post. Maybe a handball in there as well. Referee waves it away. Well, it might have been a serious handball appeal there, as it looked like it was a bicycle kick attempt that hit off the hand of a defender. But the referee says nothing doing.
Yeah.
Another look at it here, Jose.
Yeah, it was Castellanos with the header. A good read. But very unfortunate. I don't know if that's a penalty. It's a handball, no doubt about it. But, you know, I kind of agree with the ref this time. I don't like those handballs called as penalties. But either way, a good effort from Castellanos. Especially a good read, because it looked like the ball was, you know, a little bit too strong out of the corner kick. So a missed opportunity for RGV.
Juan Carlos Obregon Jr. will come on for Garrett McLaughlin. Had a few chances in this game tonight, but RGV still in search of that vital equalizer.
Yeah, good effort overall from McLaughlin. Like we mentioned before, he's still a young player, first year as a pro. You know, this is not exactly the ideal scenario. We were talking about it before, Sean. We don't know if this is the first time that McLaughlin is going through a rain delay. And I think overall he had a good showing. Now onto the field is Obregon with a little bit of more experience. And as well with the responsibility of, you know, being a presence inside the box for RGV.
And Obregon was making the run in behind, but it's easy for Sean Lewis. Really, besides that, again, the Castellanos header was probably the most that Lewis has had to deal with as far as legitimate chances for RGV in the last few minutes, for sure. A dangerous header back by Isidro Martinez, and Edwards just about bails him out there as Uzo was lurking. Could have been one-on-one with the keeper if that had gone sideways for the Toros. And Gil Zaguro, Rafael Ayagua, along with Uzo trying to make the difference for Tulsa. Lucatero able to keep the ball by winning a free kick. Taken quickly by the Toros, knowing that they've got to hurry here if they want to get back into this one. Castellanos. Manley from Martinez. Martinez again. Not sure he's got too many options here. He keeps backing up and he loses it out of play.
Yeah, well, you know, his teammates, they have to recognize that he's in trouble and move back a little bit. find some space, move around, give him an outlet.
Boy, on the bottom of the screen, Jerson Echeverry's reaction to that spoke volumes. Michael Ensign hoping his team can see this out. It'd be a massive 3 points for whoever gets it tonight. Especially considering the fact that how long this game has taken and everything that's on the line tonight for these two. Whoever leaves here with the 3 points is going to feel like they've certainly earned it. Martinez. Plenty of space here for Manley to possibly find somebody or maybe run into space. Martinez. Still seems to be a bit slow developing at times for RGV. Martinez. Manley trying to probe towards the penalty area. Perpa, wasn't a bad idea, but it was cut out well by Ayagua. Manley dispossessed. Here comes Martinez. Matolo. It was a dangerous pass there. Obregon was there, but controlled by Lewis. How does RGV find the extra gear they need, Jose? It's just been a crazy night, crazy morning, crazy couple of weeks, really, for the Toros. But they've shown, Jose, that they can keep on fighting right to the very end.
Yeah, I think, they're starting to gain a little bit of momentum. But, they have to get a hold of the ball a little bit more, control this guy, the Cuban Messi, like we mentioned before, Ariel Martinez. Now, there's an interesting thing also about this game, and it's the opportunity that comes for young players to show your coach that you can react positively after having such an up and down game. What you show on the field could go a long way for most of these players. So especially for RGV, I think we can look out for the last 20 minutes of the match for them to be a lot more aggressive with the ball and try to at least get a point from tonight.
Manley did really well defending Ariel Martinez a couple moments ago. After Martinez really kind of eaten some of the defenders for lunch so far for RGV. But Manley did well one-on-one. Here's Edwards. Kibato called his name in a little while. Had a really good start to the game for RGV. Wins his side of throw. Coronado. Kibato didn't have too many options there. But Murphy has it. Searching ball. Perpa couldn't quite control it. And when you're trying to fit passes into that tight of a space, it can be very difficult to break a team down. Matolo. Near side, Zaguro. Back with RGV after the ball kind of was deflected and the play kind of broke down. Kibato kind of waited too long there and is dispossessed, but the pass is given right back. Murphy, Kibato, maybe a chance into the penalty area. Obregon was in the area. And it was a strong defensive header by Kevin Garcia.
This is much better from RGV, starting to move the ball a little bit quicker in the middle of the field, trying to find some space. Now, it's all about set pieces as well. Towards the end, the legs are not going to be there for RGV, so you might as well take advantage of these opportunities to put 4 or 5 guys inside the box.
Martinez to Coronado, looking for a better angle. Castellanos!
Oh, yes.
Equalizer. Massive, massive goal from the captain. And it's 1-1 with 20 minutes to play.
It's a wonderful ball. But talk about, the intensity from Castellanos, who tried once. It's Coronado with the cross. And Castellanos with the header. He went for it. Maybe a little bit of contact there as well. So Castellanos with his first goal of the season. And what a moment for RGV, Sean. Now, you know, you have the goal that you were looking for. Now go for 3 points.
They will try, and it's blasted over the top. Great positioning from Obregon. Just couldn't hit the target, and all of a sudden RGV looked like a totally different side. Another look at it here. Boy, he had acres of space, Jose. Just couldn't hit the target. And can RGV find a way to turn this around? One team that might be a little happy about that is OKC Energy. But there's still plenty of time for one of these two to find a winner.
Yeah, we do have plenty of time, and you know, so far I think what we have seen from RGV has been pretty solid. And what impresses me the most out of Tulsa and what they have been doing this tonight, well, this morning I was about to say, is that, you know, they do have the talent to dominate possession, but tonight they decided to give RGV the ball and just wait for a mistake. They were able to capitalize in the first half, but they haven't been able to do much in the second.
Uguro, chance, big block by Edwards. Penalty appeal, and it's been given. Tulsa get a penalty. It's a booking for Edwards. He says he didn't use his hand or his arm. But Tulsa have a chance to jump right back in front.
Yeah, here's a look. No, it's unfortunate, but yeah, it's a good call. There's no doubt. It's a good call from the referee. And here's an opportunity for Tulsa. Tulsa, a yellow card for Kyle Adams.
It was a reaction, wasn't it, Jose? Just a natural reaction to seeing the ball come his way. And when the arm's that far away from your body, there's not much of a case.
Yeah, well, it blocks the shot. So, I mean.
And to step up here after one captain scored a huge goal for his side, it's Tulsa's captain, Ariel Martinez, who tries to restore their goal advantage here. Martinez for Tulsa, scores! And just like that, FC Tulsa jumped back in front. And was there ever any doubt?
It's an easy finish for Ariel Martinez. This is what we're used to from him. You know, decisive, the captain of this team, a leader as well, and just takes on to the challenge of scoring a goal that is, it turns out to be very important, especially after just a few minutes in which we saw the best from RGV. They were able to tie the game up. And you know, you talk about the momentum, how it can change within seconds. And, you know, a very unfortunate moment for RGV with Adams having putting a hand on the ball can change things a lot for this RGV side. Very unfortunate once again because they have been playing well. And I think, Gerson, if you look back into this game in the next few days and all the challenges that it presented, Gerson might be happy with what we have been able to see, but you know, it's hard to adjust, especially when you have a young team.
Change there for FC Tulsa is the goal scorer. Marlon makes way, and Panin Boyach comes in for FC Tulsa. What a huge sucker punch, really, in the end for FC Tulsa. After being pegged back, they find a way, and they are back in front, but 15 minutes still to go. Could have a couple more twists and turns here to what's been a absolutely, really crazy and unprecedented day and a half here. And with about 14 and a half minutes left, looks like we will head to our second hydro break here at HEB Park in Edinburgh, Texas. Again, if you're just joining us, Sean St. Jacques, Jose Rodriguez here with you. crazy last sequence here, Jose, starting with the RGV equalizer on a thumping header by Castellanos.
Yeah, the cross is beautiful as well from Robert Coronado. And right onto the head of Robert Castellanos. So the Robert connection is in place. The header, maybe a little bit of contact there. I'm not, but the referee didn't see that. So it was a good moment for RGV, especially because they were the better team on the field in the minutes prior leading to the goal. So at that point, we started thinking, well, maybe this is the time for RGV to turn things around in the 2020 season and maybe go for the win, for the first win of the year. And, just a couple of minutes later, a very unfortunate hand inside the box, and it's Ariel Martinez with the opportunity to score the second goal for Tulsa.
Two guys, Castellanos for RGV and Martinez for FC Tulsa, both easily could have already scored in this game. Castellanos had a header touch the post earlier in the game, and Martinez had a couple of chances denied by Paul Blanchette, the goalkeeper for RGV, earlier in this match as well. But both of them are now on the score sheet. And there's still more work to do, specifically for RGV, as Isidro Martinez will make way here, and Deshane Beckford will try to add a little spice late on here for the Toros.
Number 7, Isidro Martinez.
So a little bit over 10 minutes for Beckford. A player with a lot of pace. Now, the thing for Beckford is, how good can you be when you don't have enough room to run? You have to get creative with the ball. And rather than go for the 1v1 every time, try to find some room, connect with some of your teammates. As we see Ariel Martinez come off the field, coming on is Colin Chapman-Page.
So right after Martinez gives his side the lead, captain departs for FC Tulsa. Meanwhile, RGV make a bit of a more attacking change with Deshane Beckford, who we had earlier this year. Jose was really one of the stars of that 1-1 draw with OKC Energy. Scored a fantastic goal in that game to open the scoring before OKC Energy leveled with 2 minutes to go. Chance here, Obregon really found Beckford, who made the run. Tulsa's back line holds. Manley tries to win it back and concedes a free kick despite pleading to the referee that he got contact with the ball, and Jerson Echeverry is not thrilled with that challenge, or I should say, not thrilled with the call either. And once again, RGV have to get back off the floor. Is there enough time? Uzo tried to flick that on. Moyach couldn't quite get to it. Edwards got there first. Sheldon nearly got there a second time. Great challenge on the far side to win it back. Coronado was there defensively. Castellanos. Manley. Guibaro. Space here for Luke Perpa. Beckford wins a corner. Set pieces have been where RGV has made life difficult for FC Tulsa. It'll be an in-swinging corner from Perpa. See Castellanos lurking in the penalty area again. In by Perpa, easily cleared at the front post. And as far as Coronado, and again, towards Castellanos and then Beckford, but it was headed away. On the path of Costa, that was a high boot appeal, not given. Play continues to Manley. Manley towards Perpa. Last off of RGV, good challenge. And Tulsa win a throw. Shane Beckford could maybe make an impact late on in this game. Gerson Echeverry told us that I was going to go RGV's way. Gerson told us that Shane Beckford's obviously got a ton of talent. He's been getting the most out of it so far, but it's been a consistency thing with him, and also still working on his maturity as well. And for him, it's about getting a structure down, having a plan, knowing what to do on the ball, and not always going at 100 miles per hour, trying to be more of a complete player that can slow things down, dissect a defense, and also make things happen for his teammates as well. Lucatero will take this corner kick for the Toros. Towards Castellanos, who mistimed his jump. And Tulsa clear. It's a foot race here between Edwards and initially Oyach, but it was Edwards who got there first.
Yeah, for RGV, you still have plenty of time right now, but you have to get a little bit creative because, it seems like it's very predictable what they're doing right now. And while they're looking for that second goal of the match, they go through the wings, whether with Manley or Beckford, and if not, they go through the other side with Martinez through the left side, and they try to put a cross in. That's basically what they have been trying to do for the last 10 minutes.
Ball in towards Obregon, and it was cleared off the 6-yard line. Crucial challenge there.
And the problem is, Sean, that in the box it's Obregon trying to fight against 2 to 3 defenders, so it's going to be really tough for them to score. So they have to get a little bit more creative.
You see some of the insects getting it. Gerson Echeverry, it's been near biblical tonight into this morning with the weather and now the insects. Goodness gracious. But his team keeps on fighting. They keep looking for that equalizer. Actually, a player down for Tulsa. Play continues. Back up onto his feet. Edwards to Manley. He's assessing his options. Beckford. Oh, nearly turned into space. It was nearly really good from Beckford, but he gave it away. Now a chance maybe for Tulsa. To Costa. Slows things down. Good searching ball in here. Oyach in a good area. Switches fields. Lovely touch there. Tulsa keeps possession. Uzo tried to do a little too much there and gave it back to Quibado. 6 minutes plus added time to go. And a foul against Perpa on the far side. That's going to go Tulsa's way. Goal from Marlon in the 26th minute opened the scoring for FC Tulsa. We got to the 42nd minute of the first half, had the second of our 2 weather delays, came back since the second restart. Goal from Castellanos for RGV leveled the scores at 71st minute, but then just 3 minutes later, Ariel Martinez answered with a captain's goal of his own from the penalty spot. And that's where we stand. 2-1 in favor of FC Tulsa. Coronado had to head that backwards to keep that in play, keep possession for RGV. Can the Toros find another answer? Well, they give it away here. Quibado, Uzo. He got there, but Blanchette got there first and might have gotten some contact there as he went to slide in to get to the ball. Gerson Echeverry not thrilled. Thought there might have been something else going on there.
Yeah, there was a little bit of contact there. But clearly not enough because Blanchette already is back up. But, at this point, this is not what RGV needs. You're down by a goal at home. It's frustrating. I can understand that for the goalkeeper. But you have to understand that right now, RGV needs to be pushing forward, trying to find that goal.
Referee Elton Garcia just making sure everything's in order with his referees before we get back underway. Michael Edson hoping that his team could see this one out. Beckford tried to turn into space, was denied defensively by Zaguro. Edwards. Kibado. And again, Henley was wide open. Castellanos, though, is the target. And Castellanos is able to keep that alive. Edwards. Manley. Into the penalty area. Nobody got a touch for either side as Lucatero and Obregon were lurking. Still not cleared. Kibado lifts it back in, but Da Costa's there defensively. As far as Murphy, though, Beckford hit with the header. Cleared further downfield. Castellanos battling with Uzo. Getting physical between the two. Castellanos clears it away, only as far as Da Costa does really want to keep it in. It's brought back, I should say, I think, because Da Costa might have handled the ball as he tried to control it, and he was still down after a follow-through on the challenge after the handball was spotted by the referee. Beckford right away floats that into the penalty area, and Lewis got there before Obregon Jr. did. Beckford shepherded out by Zaguro. And another changeup coming for RGV. Edwards on for the Toros. Kyle Edwards, that is.
And it's the fourth appearance for Edwards in the season. You know, if it's hard to ask for any of the players to have an impact in the game during a normal scenario, coming into the match in the 90th minute tonight, you know, it's really tough. It's really tough. You know, it's something that maybe we're never going to see again, or at least some of the players are not going to see again in their career. But, you know, it's part of it. It's part of it.
20 seconds left of the 90. And for RGV, they're hoping there's going to be a little bit extra. Edwards, deflected. Looks like that's going to be brought back. Referee's got his card out here. And it looks like it's Da Costa. Might have been booked for that challenge. This is the confirmation. 5 added minutes for RGV to save themselves.
Yeah, but they need to show a sense of urgency. I don't think we have seen that in the last 10 minutes of the match from RGV. You know, and the adjustments from Michael Encien as a coach were really interesting. Basically, you know, just bring Callum Chapman-Page, another defender, good with the ball.
Decent ball in by Murphy, cleared away. Ayagua Trying to send this forward. Chance possibly here for Tulsa. Boyach. Matolo. Costa into the penalty area. And Castellanos was there. Quibado fouled on the edge of his own penalty area. He's trying to get up knowing that he's got to get downfield. Another booking here. Boyach is into the referee's book for this challenge. Ooh, that was cynical right there.
Yeah, that's a good call on the ref.
Another RGV player down. Challenge late again there. Coronado wins a free kick. 3 minutes to go. Quibado looking for Edwards, and Edwards pushes over the defender. As it was Zaguro defensively for Tulsa who held his ground.
Yeah, looking forward, I think if you're RGV, you take the first 41 minutes of the match. Even though you were down on the score, I think those first 41 minutes are exactly what you want to see moving on from this team in terms of possession. We talked before about how important that is for Jerson. And if you're Tulsa, you know, you get the 3 points. You basically had 2 opportunities. One was a PK and the other one out of a mistake from McLaughlin and Blanchette. You took advantage of it and you take 3 points and move on. It's not a good restart if you think about the level of play that you showed. But it is if you're only looking at the standings, because you get 3 points and you start looking into the opportunity of moving on to the playoffs. You're fighting for the second spot in the group. It's a good restart in that term.
And not only that, Jose, on top of that, they have 2 games in hand on OKC. If they win this game, they'll be level on points with. That is just huge for Michael Encian's side. It's still time for RGV. Perpa, Obregon, Castellanos way upfield for the Toros, hoping to use his head one last time to help his side. Obregon might have been fouled. Might have been fouled a second time. Both times nothing given. One back by Quibado. Perpa brought down. Nothing given again. Boyach controls for Tulsa with a minute to play in added time. Adams back to his goalkeeper. Coronado. Over to Adams, maybe one last chance for the Toros. Adams sends it downfield.
Good ball.
To Edwards. Edwards stopped by Zaguro. Manley lofts into the penalty area, headed towards the goalkeeper, and Lewis just got there in time over Obregon, and that might just do it.
Yeah, good effort from RGV, trying to find some room on the wings and then put the ball inside the box. Now, a little bit late with the decision to move Castellanos up front, especially when you tried for so long to bring...
Chance here, Boyach to seal it! Saved by Blanchette at point-blank range. And that's it. That was the last chance of the match. And despite the Blanchette heroics at the end, it's Tulsa's night into day here in Texas. And a long night's journey into day is over. RGV 1, FC Tulsa 2. Tulsa moved to second in the group with 2 games in hand on the OKC Energy. A massive 3 points for Tulsa. Another setback. What's been a crazy, topsy-turvy season for Rio Grande Valley FC Toros. We'll take a quick break and we'll wrap things up from Edinburgh, Texas after this.
Healthcare is being challenged. DHR Health is meeting that challenge. We opened the DHR Health Serious Infectious Disease Unit, a fully equipped, fully staffed facility designed to care for patients with COVID-19. To ensure that we can keep our general patient and staff population safe, this unit is housed in a standalone building. To ensure the safety of all who visit and work at DHR Health, we're screening everyone prior to entering our facilities. We know that together we'll get through this. Now more than ever, DHR Health, for you, for life.
Why choose Lone Star National Bank for your business? Because no other bank does more to support local businesses. In fact, we are the #1 lender in the Valley to small businesses. We put money to work here in our community.
That helps our local businesses grow.
Creating more jobs.
And more opportunities for all of us.
Working together.
Together.
We do what the little banks can't and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's bank.
At Bird Ogden and Fiesta dealerships, we continue to make our facilities safer. We are using hospital-grade disinfectants to sanitize customer waiting areas. We are sanitizing every vehicle before and after each use. Safety is our top priority. Together, we will get through this.
Sean St. Jacques, Jose Rodriguez here with you. Final score from HEB Park in Edinburgh, Texas, RGV 1. FC Tulsa 2. Big 3 points for FC Tulsa on the road. Another valiant performance, though, Jose, from RGV as we take a look at tonight's man of the match, and it's Castellanos. What a fantastic goal this was to get his team back in the game.
Yeah, it's a good cross from Robert Coronado, but even a better header from Castellanos to put the tying goal for RGV. You know, it's about opportunities for Castellanos right now, and they have been able to capitalize. This team has been able just to understand individually what the roles are. Unfortunately, moments like this are the ones that end up making the difference, not only tonight, Sean, but throughout the season. These are the moments that have, put RGV in a tough position. You know, when you make a couple of mistakes, then your opponent is able to capitalize. And those are the key moments throughout the year so far that have been, have been able to just put behind good efforts on the field. If you look at the games from RGV throughout the season, you're going to see how good they have been for, 30, 40 minutes. But then here comes a mistake, and then there's trouble for this team. So, there's an upside to this team. There's no doubt about it. But, they need to find some consistency.
It's a massive goal at the time from Castellanos. Thought that RGV might be able to turn things around. It was a really impressive header over the top to score his first goal of the season, a captain's goal for RGV. It was 1-1, but then, Jose, the penalty decision as Adams left his arm out.
Yeah, this is just unfortunate because obviously Adams is not trying to block the shot. But, it's the natural position for him. And, this is an opportunity once again for Tulsa with a player like Martinez. His experience, he knows they were in trouble at that moment during the match. And, he has the chance and he's just able to capitalize.
One captain's goal canceled out the other. Here are the full match stats here. Shots in favor of the Toros, but the shots on target in favor of Tulsa, despite a rare 60% possession, Jose, from the Toros. It is Tulsa who took their chances, and they come out with 3 massive points.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that they were able to dominate possession like Gerson Echeverry wanted. But I think with all the breaks and, the way that the game was tonight for them, it's a tricky number, that 60%. I think that consistency, once again, was not there. And, overall, I think for RGV, it's just an opportunity to get better.
Well, huge credit to all the players, to all the coaches, to all the staff that helped get this one finished. Couple of long weather delays, but we got it done. Thanks to our fantastic crew as well. For Jose Rodriguez, David North, our producer, and our entire crew, Sean St. Jacques saying good morning from Edinburgh, Texas. FC Tulsa wins it and picks up 3 massive points.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.